Movies and video games are like distant cousins. They both are a form of entertainment. Both are made by passionate teams behind them, and each has its own industry. They both also enrich our lives with dreams, vision, and meaning. And in many cases, people behind these movies or video games sometimes envision that their work could also be transcended into another form. Thus, it's very likely for us to see our favorite game make its way onto the big screen, and vice versa. What's up, guys? It's me, Mr. Sass. Today we're going to talk about 5 games that have awesome movie potential. Okay, enough said, let's get to it. Starting off with number 5, BioShock. First, let's dive deep into the watery world of BioShock and explore why this iconic game has all the potential to make a splash on the big screen as a movie. If you haven't played BioShock or are not familiar with it, no worries, we've got you covered. So, what is BioShock? In a short version, it's a mind-blowing first-person shooter adventure game that takes you to a place called Rapture, a city under the sea built by this dude named Andrew Ryan. Think of it like an underwater utopia turned dystopia. It's got all the bells and whistles of a vibrant society gone haywire. Now let me tell you, critics and gamers alike couldn't get enough of this game. It received rave reviews and became an instant classic. But why? Well, buckle up because Rapture is a whole new level of fascinating. Picture this, an underwater city with stunning Art Deco architecture, a mix of noir and tragic glamour. It's a place that was supposed to be a utopia, but it crumbled into chaos. Andrew Ryan, the mastermind behind Rapture, wanted a society free from government and religion, but things didn't quite go as planned. Aesthetically speaking, this game is top-notch. The first time I saw it, I lost so many words. The combination of Art Deco style with a touch of noir and tragic glamour gives Rapture a unique and unforgettable look. For those of you who haven't played it, I really recommend you get going now. So, what makes Rapture so fascinating? Well, it's got some nasty secrets. Dark, mysterious, spine-tingling secrets. The city fell apart because everyone got hooked on this gene-splicing wonder drug called Adam. It's like the city had a wild party and forgot to clean up the mess. For those who played the game, we know very well that Adam is one feature that makes BioShock very unique. In BioShock, where scientists can conduct any kind of experiment they want without limitation, Adam was born. This volatile genetic substance was then refined to become a usable product, known as plasmid and gene tonics. In practice, gene tonics are like passive buffs for your character, giving you more damage with melee weapons or reducing some damage types you receive, etc. On the other hand, plasmid is like the main attraction of this game, an active, unique ability for your character. Well, in practice, it basically allows you, the player, to shoot fire, freeze enemies, throw lightning bolts, and whatnot from your hand. Think of it like a subtle way to make magic more sense in this universe. And let's talk about the iconic characters, like the Big Daddies and the Little Sisters. Big Daddies are these hulking, drill-wielding behemoths, and the Little Sisters are these creepy, yet strangely endearing little girls. The dynamic between them is like a mess-it-up family you can't look away from. We won't talk in detail about them, just play the game if you haven't, see for yourself. Now, imagine this world on the big screen. The potential for new stories and spin-offs is immense. There's so much lore to explore and the possibilities are endless. But who could do justice to bringing Rapture to life? I'm thinking someone with a knack for dark and immersive storytelling. Maybe someone like Christopher Nolan or Guillermo del Toro. And of course, the cast. Who could embody the complex characters of BioShock? I'm thinking actors like Ryan Gosling or Charlize Theron would be perfect for the roles. We understand that currently Netflix is working on BioShock series, but still, a BioShock movie would be a sight to behold. There's nothing quite like it. And the combination of the game's narrative, the world of Rapture, and the potential for new stories could make it a cinematic masterpiece. Next at number 4, we have Far Cry 4. Honestly, who can forget the wild and untamed world of Far Cry 4? The settings, the Civil War, the wilderness. Man, just talking about it makes me want to return to this game. Unless you've been living under a rock and don't know what Far Cry is, It's this incredible series known for its intense action, open-world exploration, and, most importantly, its iconic villains. What sets Far Cry apart is that it's all about the villains taking center stage. They're the real showstoppers, the ones who make you question your life choices while you're trying to survive in their messed-up worlds. And let's be real, the fan favorite is Far Cry 3, all thanks to the legendary Vas Montenegro, portrayed by Michael Mando. That guy is pure chaos in human form. But for now, we're going to talk about Far Cry 4 movie potential, and I'm going to tell you why. Far Cry 4 takes us to the fictional nation of Kyrat, nestled somewhere in the Himalayas. It's a mesmerizing blend of Tibetan, Indian, Nepalese, and Bhutanese cultures. And can we just talk about how awesome it is that not many movies take place in Tibet? It's like a breath of fresh air for our eyes. But why Far Cry 4 and not 3, you know? Because Vas is already an awesome villain as he is. Or Far Cry 5 with the father Joseph Seed. Or Far Cry 6 with Anton Castillo, which portrayed perfectly by Gustavo Fring. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito. Well, my friends, it's because of Pagan Min. He's a flamboyant, mysterious, and downright vicious dictator. The thing is, as awesome as he is, he's kinda underused in the game. We only get glimpses of him in the opening and closing scenes, and that's it. I too still can't believe it why Ubisoft did that, but my point is, we want to see more of Pagan Min in action. Pagan Min deserves his time in the spotlight. And can we talk about the art direction? Far Cry 4 is a visual feast with its vibrant colors, unique ambience, and a setting that feels like it could only come from the melting pot of Kyrat. It's a visual and cultural explosion that's just waiting to be translated onto the big screen. Now picture this, a new story or spin-off. Maybe a prequel that focuses on Mohan Gale, Ajay's father. The potential for an epic, emotionally charged narrative is just waiting to be explored. But who do you guys think is the best choice to direct this movie? I'm thinking someone with a knack for intense action and complex characters. How about Denis Villeneuve? And for the lead role of Pagan Min, picture this, Javier Bardem. The guy's got the charisma and the chops to make Pagan Min unforgettable. This movie would be a sight to behold. A cinematic experience like no other. And hopefully they didn't make the same mistake as the previous attempt. We've seen action-packed blockbusters like 007 or Mission Impossible, but an intense Himalayan adventure with a charismatic dictator at the helm? That's a whole new level of excitement. And now at number 3, Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Now, of course, we've seen some cyberpunk movies like Blade Runner, Elysium, and The Matrix, but let me tell you, none of them can touch the sheer artistry of Deus Ex: Human Revolution. The gold neon tones mixed with dark steel colors, the minimalist, futuristic vibes, and that background music, it's like stepping into a sci-fi dream. Deus Ex: Human Revolution is an action RPG game set in the near future where humans are all about cybernetic enhancements. Things like enhanced vision, super strong muscles, lungs that can filter out toxins, you name it. It's like the coolest upgrade your body never knew it needed. Now, let's talk about the world of Deus Ex. It's a future where human augmentation is as common as your morning coffee. Our main guy, Adam Jensen, is living proof of that. And oh boy, does he have a story to tell. The game's universe is packed with plot twists, intriguing conspiracy theories, and the big players. The future in Deus Ex is divided into two, call it faction if you will. The pro-augs, those who embrace body modifications, and the naturals, who want to keep it old school. Throw in mega corporations like Sarif Industries, and you've got a world ripe for exploration. Now, why should Deus Ex: Human Revolution be a movie? Simple. The story has layers deeper than an onion, and based on what's been presented in the game, it feels like we've only scratched the surface. Imagine a Deus Ex movie with more intricate relationships, moral dilemmas, and futuristic tech on the big screen. Maybe they could make it as a bridging story, you know, after the event on the first game, but before the beginning of Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. So it's like a story in between those games. I surely haven't got enough of Deus Ex universe since the day one I played this game. I just want more. And if there is a movie about this, with a proper director, casts, and a great studio behind it, this movie would be something I wouldn't want to miss. We've had cyberpunk, sure, but not like this. The blend of super advanced technology, conspiracy theory, while our society is crumbling apart. It's a recipe for cinematic gold. Moving on to number 2, we have Dishonored. Man, where should we begin discussing this? I simply love the steampunk genre. Be it a movie or a game, I always crave for more. The Victorian style combined with somewhat advanced technology based on steam? It's crazy, man. The first time I heard about this game, I nearly lost my sleep. I just needed to play it as soon as possible. And true enough, Dishonored gave me more than I expected. Dishonored is like this wicked cocktail of steampunk action-adventure, combined with features that I loved from the Half-Life and Thief series, then added with a sprinkle of simple RPG goodness. That's Dishonored in a nutshell. Seriously, if you haven't played it, you've been missing out on some serious gaming gold. The world of Dishonored is a wild ride. Imagine a steampunk universe where monarchies turn into authoritarian regimes. It's got this killer art direction, and the world itself is called the Known World. There are places like Tivia, Morley, Gristle, Serkonos, and the mysterious Pandyssian continent. But in the game, the story focuses on Dunwall, a rat-infested city on Gristle Island. Let's talk about the story. And brace yourself for a spoiler alert, even though the game dropped in 2017. The tale is dark, gritty, and adventurous, all rolled into one. You're Corvo Attano, accused of killing Lady Jessamine Kaldwin, the Empress, which, ironically, is the same Empress you were sworn to protect. Long story short, you got arrested, prepared to be executed, and suddenly, a mysterious group rescued you. You join them, doing missions for them. Assassinate or pacify some targets. Depends on your gameplay style. And just when you think the game's story is about to get brighter, the same group that rescued you, who claims to be the true loyalists, now betrayed you as well. I'd say it's a mess, dark, but at the same time, very intriguing. Now imagine the potential for a new story or spin-off for a movie. Maybe another city, another empire in the same universe. The possibilities are as endless as the chaos you can cause in Dishonored. Because when it comes to steampunk, we've seen some cool stuff, but we haven't had that cinematic masterpiece yet. I admit I watched some steampunk stuff like The Golden Compass, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Hansel and Gretel, Hugo, Hellboy, and several others, but none of these movies could truly sate my thirst for a really cool, action-packed steampunk movie. But whoever tackles this needs to be careful with the lore. Dishonored is a deep well of details, and the movie needs to do justice to the fans who've been rocking the game. Man, if this is happening, the movie would be like no other. A roller coaster of betrayal, vengeance, and steampunk splendor. Okay, before we continue to the number 1, here are some honorable games that we also hoped could make it to the big screen. The Outer Worlds, the Fallout series' stepbrother. It has its own universe and similar dark humor to the Fallout series. Cyberpunk 2077 with its own unique interpretation of our futuristic world. And Grounded with a tone like Stranger Things, the movie about this game could be very cool, fun, and awesome to watch. And finally at number 1, we have Warhammer 40,000: Dawn of War. Okay, one does not mention Warhammer 40K without mentioning the genius brain behind it, Rick Priestley. With the help of his comrades, Brian Ansell and Richard Hallowell, the trio launched their first Warhammer fantasy battle, which released back in 1983. Since then, Rick has been working closely with Games Workshop, the company that holds the license for the Warhammer universe, and the rest is history. For those who don't know, people actually love the Warhammer 40K universe. It's not an exaggeration if I say that the fans of this universe are as big as the Marvel or DC universe, or as die-hard as the Star Wars universe. Unlike Marvel, DC, or Star Wars, which already made their way to the big screen, Warhammer 40K is not. That's exactly the point we're trying to make here. Warhammer 40K already has like over 50 video games since the 90s, and just like any other games, some of them are good, some are bad, but some are exceptional. While we cannot discuss each one of them in this video, we can point out that the Dawn of War series is the one that we really hope to make it into the movie. The game has so much potential that could be really interesting to be developed as a movie, but this could also be regarded as a challenge. Because, it's like an endless possibility of stories for the movie maker to tell, and if not careful, one could create the worst movie ever. Because there are like a million things of puzzles in Warhammer 40K's universe that you need to put together carefully to make a good Dawn of War movie. Like, who is the Emperor? Which conflict do they want to focus on in the movie? With the Eldar, the Necrons, the Tau Empire? Which Space Marine chapter? Oh, and let's not forget the lore about the origin of Space Marines. Man, the detail regarding Space Marines alone could be enough for one movie. While Terran from StarCraft borrow this kind of idea for their Marines, which is perfectly presented in the StarCraft 2 opening cutscene, you should know that the origin of this idea is far more grotesque. To be a Space Marine, not only do you have to be the best among the best on your planet, but you also have to undergo the horrifying transformation, a bit similar to what Witcher does in their Trial of Grasses. Google it up if you are interested. Even those points alone were not merely enough to scratch the surface of the Warhammer 40K universe. You still need to talk about the Tyranids' infestation, and you also must not forget the corrupted ones, Chaos Space Marines. Sure, it would be cool to see the Bloodraven chapter fighting the Chaos Space Marine, or the Necrons, but that must be established in the plot that's not just entertaining to see, but also makes sense in the mind of the lore lover. Okay, I'm just getting ahead of myself, but my point is this. Dawn of War has a very strong foundation and lore that could attract so many sci-fi movie lovers. The gothic ambiance, the dark and endless war of humanity across the stars, and especially the cool-looking superhuman Space Marines. Here at 3 Unwise Monkeys, we could only hope that the first live-action Warhammer 40K Dawn of War is happening in our lifetime. God, please, make Christopher Nolan watch this video and inspire him to make the Dawn of War movie we all deserve. So, there you have it, guys. 5 games that have awesome movie potential. What game do you think have the best movie potential? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this kind of video, please hit the like button and don't forget to enable notifications. If you haven't subscribed yet, doing so would be a great help for us in growing this channel. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching.